So I am a winner. Yeah. I am a winner. Yeah. I am a winner.
Hello, you're here again. I know, I'm excited too to have you. Welcome to My Life Continues Everyday podcast. I am Amanda Elu. Lego. My life.
My life will continue every day.
My life continues every day.
Well, my life continues every day.
We move. My life continues every day with Amanda Elu. Thank you so much for all your good wishes, especially after you listened to episode 8. Thank you so much. I'm still grateful to those who made it possible. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to every person who, in one way or the other, facilitated my happiness. I can say that, yeah. Thank you for your kindness. On the day this podcast was being recorded, I'm going to be using was because I know when you listen, it will be a past tense. So yes, I actually did not have the vibe to do this. Not necessarily for anything, but because I wasn't just in the mood. But then I woke up this morning and I saw a message from somebody. This is the lady who sent in one of the ladies who sent in their messages or their stories, who shared their stories in the last episode. That is in episode 8. She told me she was grateful for the gift of my podcast, and she told me other things that I don't want to share here because I don't have her permission to do it. She said so many things, and she said that what was funny was she did not know. And honestly, when I'm done with your story, I reach out to you and tell you, hey, your story is on this episode. But I don't know what happened. I didn't tell her. I forgot so much on my mind lately. So I didn't tell her, and I just sent it to her, and she just accepted it as usual. So she said she never misses any of my episode, and that was really encouraging. I know there are some of you who do not miss it. Some of you who don't even talk to me, but you listen. When I say not talking to me, it's not like we're enemies or something, but you listen to it. You don't even know who I am in person, or you do, but you don't want to talk about it. You just listen. I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for those who reach out, those who share. Always, I am grateful. Now, she said she didn't listen to it that day, but on this day, now that I'm recording this episode, I just listened to her voice message before I started. In fact, it was the ginger. She said she woke up this morning, and she didn't feel like doing anything because something had happened. And then she remembered she was listening. Oh, sorry. She went to her browser, and then she saw My Life Continues Every Day because she always lessons. So she said, oh, I didn't even listen to episode 8. Let me now play it and see what happened. Now, she said coincidentally it was her story, and it was so refreshing. It was uplifting for her because something was going on. I'm using her exact words. She woke up with a heavy heart. And when she listened, she was encouraged again that she wants to say thank you to me and to the other person who shared her story. In that episode, in episode 8, she was grateful to the person, and she told me so many beautiful things. And the bottom line is she wanted me to be consistent. She was amazed that I had gotten to this point, and yet I hadn't stopped. She was grateful. And I'm also grateful for people who always make me want to continue because it's not easy. And she mentioned it. She said, I know it's not easy, but then you still find a way to do it, to still do. I am grateful. So thank you. Or probably she was doing exactly what I said in episode 8. Reach out to people whom you're grateful to. But I think she was genuinely grateful because she sent a message. She had left a message earlier before she sent me a voice note after I thanked her for thanking me, and it was heartwarming for me. I'm not exactly having it all rosy. I mean, I have a job, but it's a new environment, and there's so much I want to talk about. Maybe not today. Like I said before, we'll take it one step at a time. I don't want to sound toxic. I'm trying to put things in the right, of course, I'm going to put it well before I present it to you. So I don't give off a wrong impression about anybody or anywhere. That's the truth. I'm very cautious about this. But I needed you to know about this. So if you are anywhere now, consistency matters. There are people whom you are their model, their life or role model. I know how much people frown against role models. Yes, because sometimes we tend to want to adopt everything we see from that person, everything, including the negative ones, and that is not proper. You should know well enough to sieve some of the information or some of the things or lifestyle of that person whom you admire, so you don't fall into a pit because they fell into a pit. And the grace that leads them into, that takes them out of that pit later, might not see you through. I'm sorry, but I just had to say it. So be careful, okay? But then it's still important to know that you're somebody's role model. Someone is looking at you, whether you like it or not. So you be careful what you do, what you put out. I also did something. I had a conversation with a certain lady. You know, she was super. It was an interview actually. I just got off it, and it was so refreshing too, because she was saying so many beautiful things that I did not know that one could learn without it being so difficult. I'm not sure how to make it relatable to you. I'm sorry, but you know when someone talks to you about a vice that you never knew could be approached from a very simple point of view. You know, some people are blessings, and I'm ever grateful for that lady. So I got off the phone with that lady, and then I got this other lady's voice note. Okay, we're not even talking about the message she already sent earlier, and it was just encouraging. So yes, I hope this podcast, this episode, encourages you to do well, to not sit back when you're tired, to stand, rest, please. It's important because you cannot give what you do not have. But when you're done resting, get up again and let's continue. Let's move. Remember, your life, my life, continues every day. As is the case with the lady we're coming up with her story now. She actually was under the rain. In fact, in water. And then she made this recording. I mean, I applaud the faith. I applaud the strength. I applaud the bravery of some people, especially people who share their stories on My Life Continues Everyday podcast. Honestly, I'm grateful for this kind of person. I'm grateful for every person who has shared their stories on this platform. Thank you so much. Now let's listen to the story, and you'd see that, man, a lot is happening. But in the end, their lives continue every day.
Hey people. So today, like every other day, it's raining in Lagos, and I'm practically living on water. No, I'm not talking about the leaky kind of water or a moving mansion. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, rain is falling inside my room. My roof is leaking. There's water everywhere. I have no single idea where I am going to sleep or how I'm going to sit or how I'll even clean it. And this is what I go through every single time it rains. Oh well, it hasn't been easy. Yes, it has been tough. It has been challenging. It has been all shades of wrong. I've had lots of reasons to be depressed, lots of reasons to cry and mope around and just be sad, but I'm pushing myself every second. I'm pushing myself with all the strength that I've got. I'm pushing myself with, putting up a happy face. It's all I've got right now, hoping that a miracle will happen real soon. And I just have to keep on moving. Because what? Because my life continues every day. Yeah.
Darling, I'm really sorry about this. I'm sorry this happened. And not to even talk about the other things you're going through, because you did not say everything. You just talked about the particular disaster of the moment. Okay? I'm so sorry. And I hope somehow you find the help that you need. Who knows? Someone might listen to this podcast and even want to help out. I don't know. I'm just saying, not to bring about false hope, but I'm just saying, I know somehow a miracle would happen. Thank you for being brave enough to share your story. I'm sending you love and light, and I pray the good Lord intervenes very soon. The next story coming up is, okay, it's a long one. It's from a young man who had his heart not really toyed with, but he had his fair share of bittersweet experiences in relationship. And I don't know, man, but his life continues every day.
I'm a good listener. Be it good stories, bad stories, good experiences, bad experiences. I just listen. Not necessarily give advice, but just listen and be there. So now for me to tell my own story is, I don't know how to start or where to start or what story to talk about. But I'm here and I'm going to tell a story of my life, obviously. Involving I and two girls and I. We'll call the first girl Girl A and the second girl Girl B. Not disclosing their names or mine, for obvious reasons. But some of you might know who is talking because of the voice. So in case Girl A or Girl B hears this podcast someday, they definitely will, because I believe this is going worldwide. They will know that I didn't, would I say expose their names or identities. But then sometime in 2014, 2015, thereabout, fresh out of secondary school, in the university and everything, first time free, I guess. There was the freedom of everything, if you think about it. So I was in this society of St. Vincent de Paul, the Catholic Society. Once every year, we go to different states, come together, go to different states, visit the poor and everything. So the very first one, yes, we went to Port Harcourt. And I came with, definitely I came with some of my society members and everything. And there was this girl among them, Girl A. No, normally, yeah, I'm what people would define as a snob. So throughout the whole journey because my school was in Anambra State, Oka. Throughout the whole journey from Oka to Port Harcourt, I didn't really talk to anybody. I was just focused on my headphones and music and everything. But then, before the day got over, everybody got chatting somehow. Text a particular person. Everybody got chatting somehow. And they started talking to Girl A. Now, Girl A physically is not what you would define as my spec. But then we got chatting, we got talking. We talked, the whole trip to Port Harcourt was over. We went back to Oka. We were there in Oka, in our hostels, different hostels, but the same hostel, boys' hostel and girls' hostels. So in the course of still chatting with Girl A and everything, I met Girl B during the evening mass. Girl B was also what you will not define as my spec. But then she had this voice when she sang. She has a good voice when she sings. And that was what caught me. That was what caught my attention. Unintentionally, we ended up in the same society. A different society from the first one, St. Vincent de Paul. And somehow we started talking. And we talked. And the more we talked, the more I understood that she was more like me, character-wise. For those that know me, it will be you will try to understand. She was crazy, character-wise. Let's just put it like that. She was fun crazy. To make things worse, her birthday is a day before mine, the same month. KLP was fun. You know, we were fun. Then girl A, certain feelings started developing towards her from my side. You know, I started having feelings for her and everything. But she didn't share what I say in that idea or in that feeling, you know, towards me. So I didn't really, at first when I was still around, you know, I didn't really take it as something that, you know, it did happen for life. It's inside life, you get. So it didn't really bother me per se. But then for one or two reasons, I was no longer in the same university with them, with these girls, girl A and girl B. It was only when I was not in the same place with them that I understood how I felt. And I didn't really understand how I felt. I know, yes, that sounds too complicated. That is the story between me and girl A and B. The feeling towards girl A got intensified. It got so bad that I'll be doing something different, cooking, reading, seeing a movie, and I'll see girl A's name. Well, funny enough, when I was with girl B, I didn't remember girl A. So the whole thing was, I didn't necessarily, you know, come out of the whole experience and observe it. I was just going with the flow. So back when I was still in the same university with girl A and B, you know, definitely, you know, I'm chilling with girl A, you know, there's a movement to do certain things, but girl A shut that shit down. Like, she shut that shit down straight up, you know. And I was not really bothered about it. I mean, you know, I didn't want to try with girl B, like the whole make out and everything. Girl B had a different vibe. She gave me a vibe. When I was with her, for very few minutes, it's just her. I didn't think about any other thing, any other person. So girl B was, I still don't know what it is. Now, moving forward, girl B later told me that she kind of felt the same way towards me. But then she didn't trust me. At some point, she told me that she feels like I was trying to, like, you know, get her as like a bet or a trophy, something. She didn't trust me, you know. So I was still in a gray area with girl B. I didn't really know if I had feelings or whatever it is I was feeling for girl B. But girl A's own was there, it was clear, it was written. And you know this thing about people wanting people that don't want them. So when she officially told me that she doesn't have feelings for me, girl A, that's when I wanted her more. Now fast forward to girl A's IT. When she was on IT, yeah. All this while, we talked from her 100 level to her 300 level. We talked very well. We chilled, you know. and we just talked. She knew I had feelings for her. Anytime I put up the feeling thing, she just, guy, stop the shit. She just goes offline, or she just something. It was a lot of mental, but I didn't have any problem with it because she hasn't talked about any other guy, so I was just like chilled. And she went for her IT, and she met this other guy. And according to her, she wanted to experience certain things, and she experienced what she experienced. And then she told me. I didn't know how to feel. I was angry at her, but I couldn't get angry at her. I was angry at her. It was a bad time. And she didn't tell me as in the chat, she called me and we were talking and she was like, so and so happened, and I was like, was she tormenting me? What is she doing? What is this? I was in a gray area. I was in a vexed area. Not even gray right now. I was in a vexed area. But I couldn't vex at her because of how I felt about her. I won't want to say what I did, to get over that. But then I was in a bad place for a while, But what she did, like she telling me, gave me a way out, It gave me a way to get over her. Like with time, not just immediately, with time. Because I know I still did some pretty stupid things. When you have feelings for somebody, you do a lot of stupid things. So I did a lot of stupid things for girl A. For some reason, I haven't had an opportunity to leave the country at some point. But I turned that down. I turned the opportunity down because I felt like when I presented the fact that I turned certain opportunities just so that I could be close to girl A. When I presented this fact to her, she said, no, when I presented this fact to her, I thought that, she would understand how I felt for her and then, start developing something. I don't know how that math works. I don't know how that math. Oh, fuck. I didn't understand how, right now, thinking about it, I didn't understand how that math was going to work. But then it made sense to me. It was as clear as 1 + 1. It was as simple as 1 + 1, And then when I told her that, okay, it was because of you that I turned down this opportunity to do this, she was like, she's making me make wrong decisions in my life. And because of that, she's going to step out. I was like, what is this? I didn't expect, no. This is not how it was supposed. This is not how it played in my head. You're not supposed to. You were supposed to. And she was like, she can't be the reason why I'm making this kind of decisions badly. So she did step out. She deleted my number, blocked it. But then, because of the kind of person that she is and because of the amount of time I've spent with her talking and just listening basically, and just talking, getting to know her, she has trust issues. She has walls in her life. She has, she's first defensive, asks questions later and everything. But I would say I managed to scale certain walls. I was awarded certain kind of thrust from her. So after the blocking and the whole deleting of number, not talking to me for a long time, we started talking again, and she was like, she did miss me, that I grew on her in a certain kind of way. Friendship, no feelings still there. I was like, oh, more this one hard not. It's not cracking out this girl, you know. But with all that time of her, both of us not talking. Would I say I got to start thinking with my head and not with my heart when it came to girl A. You know, I stopped thinking mushy. I started thinking straight, you know. Though my heart was still, I don't want to use it, my heart was still where it was, but my brain had to just take over. And with time, you know, I started unfeeling what I felt. So yeah, later we started talking, we got back, started talking with your friends, we're still friends, we talk. But meanwhile, girl B was now becoming more important. Okay, no, let me not use the word important. Girl B was now becoming more. She was becoming more. But still, we couldn't place our finger on what we felt for each other. I was still going back to Oka to go and see my friends, you know, my guys that were still in the hostel. And obviously, I would still see girl B. And for that first 5 seconds, or 5, 10 seconds, 15 seconds of seeing her, there's just a smile across my face that was just there. My guys didn't understand. I didn't know how to explain to them how I felt. They didn't understand why I felt how I felt for girl B. It was just, when it came to girl B, if I'm doing something and girl B, I would leave that shit for girl B. So then, it was now clear that we both felt something, and we started getting mushy and started talking. And she would ask, what is it exactly that I feel for her? I didn't know how to explain it to her. I didn't know what to say that would make her understand that this is how I felt, or this is how I feel. I just feel like the words have not been created yet for me to express that feeling. So because of that lack of explanation, she thought that I wasn't serious. I didn't know what I wanted and everything. Another story of my life, being totally misunderstood. I tried to explain, but like I said, the words didn't exist, so she didn't understand. Though we gave dating a chance once or twice before it didn't work, out of sight, out of mind issue. You know. But up to date, I still feel how I feel for girl B. For girl B. She knows, but then it doesn't matter anymore because she has moved on. So I was saying in the space of 6 years, I've gotten my heart broke twice by 2 people that I loved. But then, my life continues. It's not the end of the world. Though I keep telling myself that because of how stupid I get when I'm in love, I don't want to intentionally fall in love. So when I begin to feel a certain kind of way for somebody, I tend to run. But like I said, my life continues.
Wow. Girl A and B, I hope you can hear this. And I wish someday it all makes sense. I just hope the things you love come to you and you eventually find maybe girl C, who knows? And she would give you what A and B never gave you, what you need. I pray it comes. I mean, everybody deserves love. You're a good man. I know you are. Just stand firm and do not hurt any person. And don't hurt yourself too. Thank you for letting your life continue every day and for sharing this story here. I mean, you don't share stories, but you had to on this platform, and that is huge. I feel honored. Thank you so much. God bless you. All right, and for you who listened today, I also want you to know that everything good will come. Keep being consistent. People are watching. People can see. They can hear. Someday, they would refer you for something really amazing, something in your line of work. And then you'd be grateful. You never backed down. To every person who shared their stories today, keep moving. Better days ahead. And to all of you who listened, same goes to you. Your life continues every day. Remember to share this podcast to as much people as you can reach out to. Please let them know about this podcast. And I appreciate you for taking time all the time to listen to this podcast. My Life Continues Everyday podcast will come again. Till we meet again, may God bless you and may His angels protect you.
I'm living a good life, no stress and no strife. Every day I keep moving up. Monday to Sunday, steady balling. If you can, I be one